Well, I finally got around to starting another recording and realized that I hadn't really shown anybody what the back end of the Gray Man looked like as part of this whole process. So I figured I would go ahead and kind of give some more perspectives and then run through some comparisons to other Civics I've found out in the world while enjoying mine. So as always, all the information will be right here in the upper right, date, time, but they do still go in order from oldest to newest. And as you can see, we're in primer. This is kind of back at the beginning. I don't have any pictures of it when it was black from the rear, but you'll get the idea. But anyway, you can see at this point I was, still working on. Figured this panel might look good black. I don't know. Haven't made up my mind. Still figuring it out. And you can see I leave myself little notes here. That was to take this bag off of the tailpipe and things like that. But you can kind of see that the primer's not great. You kind of have to remember that this is the first car I've ever painted in my life. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but you know what? We jump in and we figure things out because, how many cars do you think I painted before I painted my first one? Well, now you know. But anyway, so we jump forward. This shows the kind of the end result of the primer process. You can really see that, I left the badges on, but not overly concerned with the masking around the black, things like that. But you can also see that tailpipe on. Now I'm a little bit OCD, and you can see that offset. You'll see my solution to that problem a little later on. But you can see I was kind of running out of primer, still had more body work to do, etc. Whoops, jumped forward further than I wanted to. Let's try this again. Alright, now, okay, this is obviously when I sprayed it out, and the example I wanted to show here is that this paint is not designed for cars. The can even says it's not recommended for automobiles, but just because it's not recommended doesn't mean it's not possible. And as you can see, it doesn't spray out very nice, and from what I understand, professional painters have trouble with this type of paint. Doesn't mean it's bad paint per se. It's just it's not designed for this purpose. I mean, it is machine and implement paint, but hey, I'm putting it on a car. I don't have a lot of money here, so I figured I would just show that as a quick example. And then as you can see, I got tired of masking that off and got tired of forgetting where my license plate was and things of that nature, so I just flipped the whole thing over and just sprayed it on out, because who's got time for that, and more paint is more better. So, and this time I didn't have my reminder on the back there, so I wrote it up here. Make sure, hey, take the bag off the tailpipe, knucklehead. You don't want it to melt on your exhaust pipe there. So anyway, that gives you an idea. And then we bump forward here. We're still a few days later, and this was obviously later on in the evening. It's getting dark, but the new cell phone cameras always pick up low light situations. But I wanted to kind of get an idea of what it looks like after dark with the lights burning and things like that. not half bad, I don't think. But then you can see I haven't even rubbed on this paint yet. So this is just that evening, but you can see kind of how my paint lines are really rough around through there. This was Dollar Tree masking tape and a rattle can of paint that I used. All the black on this car is a rattle can, and you can see, no, it's not smooth, but still, hey, better is better. So that's what I was going for. And went ahead and stuck my vent visors back on, but didn't have the rears, things of that nature. And obviously I don't have my little center caps on here yet, and I was still waiting on them to come in. And there's what she looks like from the rear. And you can see how I painted this underneath. Still got stock exhaust pipe, all that good stuff. But nothing crazy. You can see how tight I had that masked around it when I shot it. But nothing crazy. But even without doing anything additional to the paint at this point, I think it looks a lot better, and that was the goal. And of course, we're going to jump forward here shortly and compare this car to other cars I found out in the world. But you have to understand the old adage: good, fast, and cheap. Pick any two. Well, in this circumstance, cheap is already taken care of. What do you want, good or fast? Well, I want good, but under this circumstance, we have to apply accelerated erosion, or accelerated stratification, which means I'm either sanding it smooth or adding more paint to make the finish better. And this is a process that's still ongoing. I have not clear coated this car. It's still just paint. But anyway, some people don't like custom Civics. Well, I don't particularly mind them, but most or some people who have seen my car without seeing it next to one of these think it's a custom Civic. Well, it is, but really it's not. All I did was paint mine. This one's been customized. You can see the grill, different bumper cover treatment. Looks like spent some money on headlights. Of course, mag wheels, slammed it straight on the ground. And if this badge is to be, or this sticker is to be believed, then this one has had an engine swap, all kinds of fun stuff. And hey, your money, have fun, your car. And you can see the really dark limo tint on this one. Black on black, kind of murdered out, but not all the way. But you can see a bit of the inspiration for how my wheels are painted. But this is a direct comparison of these two vehicles sitting next to each other. And of course, there we go again. You can see my daytime running lights a little bit here. And this one also gives a good example of where I showed you in the last video of how these hoods get deranged. This is a common problem. And also, if this one has been hopped up with the engine swap, there's a pretty good reason, or that's the likely reason why this hood and the offside is primer and the front bumper cover. You can see how this one's been patched together. debadged, things like that. Now, hey, it could be a work in progress. I never actually met the guy. I just saw this thing parked out in the world and thought, hey, it'd be pretty neat to show their EJ next to my EJ. So, and then rear treatment. Now you can see I've added a wing onto mine. You'll see kind of the inspiration. You can see my details that I've added to my mud flaps. Ooh, chrome tip, people. Oh no, is it one of those fart cans? Well, no, it's just a chrome tip. But anyway, you can see where this person has spent plenty of money on tail lights, and you can see they have the big fart can muffler, and mine is to give you the impression I have the big fart can muffler, but I don't. It's stock. And you can see how I've kind of added in black around my badges in the back to make them jump out, but darn it, I like the chrome on mine. So that's what we did. Now this one, being a brand new 2025, you can certainly see the difference in the paint color. And also you can see how much lighter mine is as compared to this white car here. But still, I like the look of these things, but you can also see how everything's all blacked out. There's no chrome on the new models, or at least none that I've seen. Well, which is fine, but I think the chrome gives things a little better character. And luckily, as you can see, though, this one and the last one were caught on the same day. And then you can see the rear wing here. Drive out tag, people. This thing is brand new. But you can see the black under the wing, and where I came up with the idea for the black on my wing. So pretty self-explanatory. There's the tail feathers of both of them. So yeah, you can see mine is definitely it's its own thing. It is custom, but it's stock. Yes, it was raining. Yes, I was out in the rain. Who cares? Still hadn't cleaned that line up very much there. You can kind of see the little greeblies on it. But that's okay. This is a work in progress. Now then, you can see this other Civic, how much lighter mine is, but also kind of the idea behind adding the Honda center cap. You can see that one there. And you can see mine right there. Just kind of completes the look. I think it helps it out. And some of these pictures will kind of help you see that this is shiny. Yep, baked paint. It's the South, people. This is normal. This happens to Hondas all the time. That one's obviously clear. I think that particular Civic could probably be made to look a lot better. And you can see some of the shine here that I've actually rubbed into this thing. Polishing compound is your friend, people. There we go. There's the next gen. I believe this one's an 05. This one's also an LX. But nice, honest little car. Right next to mine, and these with a varying light, you can see, yeah, mine is actually shiny. It's not flat, but it's the South. Baked paint, falling off the bumper cover, but still, these still have a little bit of chrome in the front. And Lord, does this one need headlights redone or cleaned up on it. But still, honest, nice little car. And yeah, it just gives you an idea. And yes, the both of the safety, rear third row brake lights, that's the word I was looking for. Yes, they both work. I wired these in myself. If it's going to be on the car, it's got to be functional. So, and oops, I caught a rattle can. Yes, all the black is rattle can. And all of this is fine. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a cool car. And obviously this one was just a couple of days ago. And the nice lady let me take pictures of her car. And this particular model year, I believe it's 2018-ish. You can see how it's starting to get blacked out and things like that, which is fine. But I think Honda kind of lost their way with this business right here. But luckily they corrected it on the new ones. This is a greeble. It does nothing. It's a plastic piece. So, and they figured out pretty quick that people don't like aesthetic things with no functionality. And you know what? They're right. But anyway, just another name that I have for the gray man, and something that I wanted to mention is also a rat rod. And if you're a car person, oh wait a minute, that's not a rat rod. Sure it is. RAT is an acronym for regular ass traffic. Yes, that's my car, but I don't care. I have fun with it. Anyway, that's excuse me, basically all I had today. Just want to thank you once again for watching.